Gentleman Fairfax, Mr. Hugo.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman may proceed.
First, let me say I share my friend's concern and aggravation with the current administration, so we'll agree to agree on that. I just want to say, how many times over the last few years have we talked about transportation? If you tried to count it up, you really just couldn't. I think, but what we have now is everyone agrees we have a problem. We have an opportunity to deal with it. Now look around the room. My friend, gentleman from Virginia Beach, has a plan. Gentlelady from Fairfax, Delegate Watts, has a plan. Albo, Rust, a number of folks have plans. I applaud you for doing that. I think what that says, when you get a dispersed group like that we have a challenge before us, but it's also an opportunity. My friends, we have a math problem on transportation. Simply, our transportation needs are going to outpace our revenue. Since 2002, we have transferred over $3 billion from Transportation Trust Fund to cover the cost of maintaining our roads and bridges, which means we have a problem in construction. Basically, we're paving potholes instead of building roads, and it's going to get worse. In the next decade, the miles per gallon, the CAFE standard for the cars, goes to 54.5 miles per gallon. 10 years ago, it was under 13. Now we're at about 27. When it goes to 54.5, how are we going to fund transportation based on 17.5 cents? What they're saying, what the governor's plan is saying, what the speaker's plan is saying, is we need to figure out what we can do. Is there a better way? And there is a way to do this. Because what they will say, you cannot index it enough, gas enough. You cannot increase taxes on gas enough to keep pace at 54.5 miles per gallon. Northern Virginia, a lot of Northern Virginia, we have these alternative vehicles. They put no money into the Transportation Trust Fund. Very few dollars there. Without a reliable network, our state doesn't function. If you look at, we've dropped it from 1 to 3 as the best state to do business, and really it comes down to transportation. Now, I would say to my friends on the other side, I heard the comments yesterday, I heard the comment today, and I assume there'll be 1 or 2 tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. That's fine. If you have concerns, lay it out there. Let's have a discussion. It is an opportunity to do something. It's an opportunity to move down the road on this. But I would say a lot of you have had ideas over the last 10, 15 years that haven't worked. Give the governor a chance to try. Give the speaker the opportunity to try. Knock this out. Do this. The perfect's the mortal enemy of the good. And you can pick the bill apart on various things. But if you pick it apart so much, you're going to get nothing. And if you get nothing, who does that hurt? It hurts our constituents and our families. Because when you look at this whole thing, to boil it down, it comes down to 2 issues. It comes down to quality of life, economic development, jobs. For the quality of life, I grew up in the beach, live in Fairfax and represent Fairfax and Prince William. When you're sitting in traffic and you're just sitting there looking at the red lights and you can't get to your kid's soccer game, or you can't get to the football game, or you're just that late for that job interview, it gnaws at you. It eats at you. For jobs, I had a friend of mine open a plant. Had a plant and the road opened and improved. He said once that road opened, instead of making 4 runs a day, he could make 5 runs a day. Automatically a 20% improvement in productivity. And what he said with that productivity, Tim, I will hire more people. 25%. We've talked about raising the gas tax, indexing it for years. It has not worked. Now, my friend talked about the internet sales tax, the marketplace equity. We're not just relying on that. This is not the sole piece. You use the word comprehensive in your argument, and that is what the governor has done. That is what the speaker has done. That is one portion of it. But if we don't wall that money off now, then they'll never get it. The governor is saying, prospectively, we think there's an opportunity that Washington may force us to do this. If they do, then we've got to put that money in transportation. I just ask you, you all got books in the last day, or you get them today from the governor. It details every bit. It details the question about out-of-state. Some people have said you're going to miss the out-of-state folks. Well, the fact of the matter is, you get more money from the out-of-state folks because we have Virginia Beach, Williamsburg, Kings Dominion, Northern Virginia, tourist areas. We bring people in from out-of-state that sales tax will collect and put more money from the out-of-staters. We've heard there's arguments in there that the companies won't drop their prices. We looked over the years at the gas tax. We picked a day in December and said, okay, what is the gas tax on every state in the East Coast? Statewide, if the gas tax was 30 cents higher, take a number, there was a delta, there was a distinctly higher gas price in that state. You can look it up yourself. What the most interesting thing was, the head of the Maryland Gasoline Association said, if Virginia passes this, the gas companies, the little gas stations in Prince George, Montgomery County are going to be dead because we'll be lowering our prices. That comes from the head of the Maryland Gas Association. Again, the point, take a look at the bill. You've all got books. It goes through. If you have questions, I'm sure the Speaker will talk to you, the Governor will talk to you. If you have ideas to improve it, Democrats and Republicans, I think everybody's got an open mind. But I beg you, on behalf of our constituents, for quality of life issues, for jobs in the Commonwealth, do not let the perfect be the mortal enemy of the good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.